Deer Creek Speedway in Spring Valley, Minnesota. It is the World Modified Dirt Track Championships here at Deer Creek Speedway.
It'll be the 20-car Cole Queensland out of Grand Meadow. It'll be the 2H Brian Hayden out of Fillmore, Indiana. And the
top 7 finishers coming from outside the top 20 in their starting spot. It can be done if these guys can drive it aggressively yet safely through all 35 laps. We'll see who's going to be able to work their way through the field.
Last night's was a case there wasn't a lot of caution, so the drivers were getting it done on the racetrack. So you can see the field starting to roll down the back straightaway. The caution lights are out. Randy Timms and Tyler Townsend as we roll down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Keep an eye on Ryan Staley in the flag stand. Ladies and gentlemen, it is show time at the creek. Here we go.
Green flag is in the air just like that. Our 2 cars on the front row go door to door into turn number 1.
As they jump down into turn number 1, Randy Timms going to take the lead. They're going to go 3 wide for the 3rd spot.
Donlinger already looking racy in the red and black 3 machine as he's trying to work to the inside of the 75 of Terry Phillips.
They come down the front straightaway. It's Randy Timms with Tyler Townsend right on him as they go into turn 1.
Townsend, who started on the outside, has since dropped to the bottom in the 12 machine. 2-car battle for the lead. 3 wide right behind him.
We got action in turn number 2. I believe it's the 20 of Rodney Sanders that has turned around in corner number 2. And Kurt Krauskopf sliding in safe. Definitely the 20 of Rodney Sanders, and the caution flag out.
Well, Todd, it took us 1 lap to get to that Mike's Hard Lemonade caution. We had them running 3 wide for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Couple of opportunities to stick it 3 wide deep in the field as well, and what happened was we simply ran out of racing room between 1 and 2.
Tyler Townsend's been pretty impressive so far here tonight. That 12T car, first time ever here at the Deer Creek Speedway from Longview, Texas. Currently sitting in that 2nd spot here early on. He was challenging Randy Timms for the lead. Looked very good in his heat race earlier tonight as well.
Yeah, you know, we can't stay.
Rodney Sanders in the 20 dropping to the back of the field. Caution lights are out.
1 lap down, a long way to go before we see tonight's checkered flag at the end of this 35-lap feature event. We're going to bunch them up down the back straightaway and prepare to go racing. First restart of the night for our A main. Here they come around the north end of the speedway. Green flag in the air. Timms will lead us down the front straightaway with a 5.
Drivers back on the powers. They go down into turn number 1. Dotson going to try to get the run on the outside of Townsend as they go 3 wide for the 4th spot.
Well, that didn't take very long. Again, we're 3 wide down the back straightaway. They funnel it down to 2 wide into turn number 3.
Brandon Davis on the fly on the outside as he's going to zoom around Tim Donlinger and take over the 4th position.
In turn number 4 that time, Townsend was the first to throw a challenge for the lead. Couldn't quite make it stick. Slides back a bit and now feels the heat from Dodson in the 85.
Mark Dodson on the outside of your 2nd place runner Townsend as they come down the front straightaway. Now Donlinger to the inside of Davis for the 4th spot.
Kelly Esty in the 35 just outside of the top 5. Right behind Corey Drips in the 31. Those 2 cars trying to make their way towards the top 5.
Donlinger to the 3D with the run on the low side of Davis. Now has the advantage for the 4th spot as Davis goes up the hill in turn number 4. Donlinger now to the 4th spot.
Phillips in the 75. Not actually backsliding, but he is out of the top 5 now, being challenged by Corey Drips in the 31.
Up front, Timms and Townsend's trying to pull away from the 85 of Dodson as the 3D of Donlinger now coming in.
Dan Bohr took the 66 right down to the bottom of turn number 3, made it 3 wide. Bohr, our fast qualifier tonight, trying to work his way towards the top 5.
Terry Phillips on the outside as Corey Drips trying to challenge for that 6th position as Jeremy Payne dropping back now going 3 wide with Ryan Gustin.
Gustin on the bottom, Payne on the top as they race around 3 and 4. Payne way up top, close to the concrete on the front stretch.
Leaders headed down the back straightaway. It's still Randy Timms in the 5T. Tyler Townsend is there about a straightaway ahead of your 3rd place runner, Mark Dodson.
Jack Sullivan in the 14S trying to make some moves. He's outside of the top 10, but trying to work his way into it.
Down the front straightaway to turn number 1, your leaders go. Randy Timms able to extend his lead now just a little bit on the 12T of Townsend as Donlinger now working over the 85D of Dodson.
Yeah, you talk about working over. Those 2 cars were touching as they raced out of turn number 2 with a full head of steam down the back straightaway. Donlinger looks to the inside on the front stretch, can't quite get up alongside of Dodson.
Terry Phillips in the 75 trying to get that high line to work for him as he closes in on the 50 to the 3rd of Brandon Davis for the 5th spot.
Corey Drips taking a wicked entry into turn number 1. He gets that car almost crossed up completely sideways and then rockets down the straights. Looks to the inside of the 75 of Phillips.
Still your lead car, the 5T of Randy Timms, your top two now. A full straightaway ahead of Dodson in the 85D.
Brandon Davis in the 50 to the third lined up 8th in the starting row, currently running 5th, just behind Donlinger.
Phillips still running way up on the top side, now going to tuck it down on the bottom in turns 1 and 2 to take the line away from the 31 of Corey Drips.
Single file through the top 10 as now everybody is starting to look for tack at the bottom of the banking. Only a select few running high around both ends of the speedway.
Single file down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. Top two still remain the same as they continue to pull away from Dodson.
Yeah, they've got almost an entire straightaway separating the top two from the rest of the pack. And look at that battle outside the top 10 as we've got about 8 cars all bunched up down the back stretch and into 3.
Ryan Gustin's got the 19R cranked up on the top side of the speedway. Remember, he started 15th here tonight as he's worked his way around the 37 to Kelly Esty, now up into the 7th position.
Ryan Gustin took the spot away on the outside, then dove to the bottom in 3 and 4. Dan Bohr in the 66 trying to come with him. Looks like that car's not quite giving him what he wants.
26 and Dan Fenner's dropping off the pace on the back straightaway. Your leader's going to come up on the back of the field here in a lap or two as Townsend's now closed things back up on Timms.
They're going to close in on Shane Hebert. He'll be the first one to go a lap down, who's still out on the speedway. We had a challenge for the lead there as the number 12 of Townsend looked to the inside.
Here we go again. Townsend to the inside, Timms to the top side as they come on a 4 right on the 9 of Hebert, now trying to drop him a lap to the rear.
Yeah, and Hebert plays into that battle for the lead as he's running right through the middle of the groove.
3 wide. Townsend on the inside of Timms, not able to make it stick. They're going to get into heavy lap traffic here in a lap or 2.
Townsend actually had the lead briefly coming on a 2. Timms went right through the middle and made both of us scream 3 wide to retake the lead.
Still working through lap traffic. They're still about a straightaway ahead of the 85T of Mark Dodson. Donlinger in the 4th spot. Brandon Davis 5th. Terry Phillips and Corey Drips 6th and 7th with Ryan Gustin 8th.
You know, even though Dodson has lost an entire straightaway to that 2-car battle for the lead, he's held off every challenge that Donlinger has given him and remains 3rd in line.
Caution coming out. We have the 19 of Mike Sorensen drop off the pace into the infield. Also the 9 of Shane Hebert. But the reason for the yellow, the 555 of Ryan Reuter slowed on the top side at corner number 2. So that is going to slow things down, bunch everybody back up, and I'm sure our leader's breathing a sigh of relief as it's going to open the racetrack back up as they had some pretty heavy lap traffic just in front of them.
You know, we had a 2-car battle for the lead.
Caution lights are flickering off and on. 17 down, 18 to go. Randy Timms in the 5T car. Western Flyer Express Kent Automotive supported machine leading the pack as they form up 2 wide behind him. Here we go, getting set for the restart.
Our pack comes out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. A-Main back underway tonight. Challenge for the lead on the front stretch.
Dodson going to take a look to the outside of Townsend. Almost 3 wide there for the lead. Here comes Davis on the outside now.
It's a 5-car battle at the front of the pack. Davis and Donlinger both trying to duke it out with the 12 and the 52.
Tim's going to lead the pack. It's Townsend and Dodson side by side for the 2nd spot as they pull down into turn number 1.
Everybody turning it up a notch. Corey Drips in the throw as well. Here comes Phillips again in the 75.
Donlinger and Davis side by side for the 4th spot. Dodson now getting the run on the outside of Townsend. They're right on your leader, Timms.
Todd, you called it. You said keep your eye on the 19 of Ryan Gustin. Gustin just outside the top 5.
Rodney Sanders going for a spin in turn number 4, and the caution coming back out again. Mike's hard limited caution once again as Rodney Sanders lost the handle in the 20, and we are back under yellow.
Caution is out. We'll slow down, regroup, and prepare for another restart here. The challenge at the leader Timms on each of our restarts hasn't been able to actually take over sole possession of the lead. We'll see if Townsend's going to be able to challenge him on this restart or stick with him through the next several circuits here to challenge for the lead. Dodson, Donlinger, Davis, the rest of the field also ready to make a move as we prepare to go back to green.
Here they come on at corner number 4. Tim's about to lead the pack to the green flag. We're back underway.
Townsend again looks to the inside. Timms is quick on the restart though and will lead us into turn number 1.
Dodson going to take a look to the outside once again. That blue 85D as we've got them stacked up 2 and 3 abreast.
Trouble for Esty in the 37 machine as he struggled around the south end of the speedway. Hemorrhaged positions. He's almost at the back of the pack.
Donlinger to 3T D now by the 50 at Davis as Townsend again taking a look to the low side of Timms.
Kelly Esty completely off the pace. He's slow around the top of the banking in turns 1 and 2.
Not sure Esty's not going to make it off of the racetrack, and the caution returns to the Speedway. As you mentioned, Esty kind of got shuffled out there right away on that last restart. It dropped like an anchor towards the back of the pack, and now coming to a stop and now rolling down the back straightaway under his own power.
Not quite sure what the issue there is with Esty in the 37. He really lost it down here in 1 and 2 and just started dropping, as you said, like an anchor to the back of the pack before coming to a stop after another circuit at the top of the banking in 1 and 2. 20 laps down now in our 35-lap A main.
So here we go, caution lights are out. 20 down, 15 to go. Randy Timms and the yellow fine tee leaders. The field foreman back up 2 wide behind him, getting ready to crank this one up once again.
Timms started from the pole, restarts from the point, green flag in the air. Timms again will lead us down the front straightaway with a pack of them right behind him ready to pounce.
This time Dodson got a little bit of a bad start there. Tim Donlinger going to look to the inside. Davis got shuffled back to the 5th spot, and here comes the 19R, the Reaper and Gustin going like a
John
Hades on the top.
John Allen in the 98 making some moves. Gustin coming along with him on the outside.
Ryan Gustin, I think, feeling it's go time. Look at Gustin way up on the top side of the Speedway.
Almost had him 4 wide in turn number 2 as Gustin was right up against the concrete. Allen on the inside, Donlinger in the 3D there as well.
Brandon Davis has got John Allen and Ryan Gustin right on him as they get on to turn number 1 again. Gustin going to wheel to the top side.
Ryan Gustin just barely kissing the concrete in turn number 2, has not been able to take over the position currently held by Brandon Davis in the 50 to the 3rd.
Gustin to 6, going to try and take over the 5th spot as he loses a little momentum in turns 3 and 4. Once again, back up at the hill in turns 1 and 2.
A nifty battle from 5th on back as Brandon Davis has got the 5th spot. Gustin continues to work that ultra high line with his 19.
Gustin manhandling that machine up on the top side of the racetrack as they get on to turn number 1. Still trying to get around the 50 of Davis.
Davis 5th, Gustin 6th. Then it's Allen in the 98. Dan Bohr has come back to life in the 66 machine.
Meanwhile, back up front, it is still Randy Timms in control of Tyler Townsend and Mark Dodson as Gustin just about gets the wall.
One of the cars off the pace in turn number 4. That's the 98 of Allen, who is doing so well. Allen is off the pace, headed towards the infield.
Tough break for the driver in Chanute, Kansas, but back up towards the front now. Davis and Gustin still in a good battle for the 5th spot.
Dodson and Donlinger continue to run nose to tail. Dodson's got 3rd, Donlinger right behind him in 4th, and then it's that 2-car battle for 5th and 6th.
Randy Timms in control here since the drop of the green flag as he continues to extend that top spot.
What a sight it is watching Gustin run that thing all the way around the high line on the outside. However, he's not been able to turn it into a pass on the outside of Davis.
One of those deals where Dodson, Donlinger, and Davis are all on the bottom. Gustin winging it around the top now as he's gotten by Davis. Looks to the outside of Donlinger now.
Davis had to pedal it coming out of 2. Gave up that position finally to Gustin. Gustin coming to life on the outside.
Ryan Gustin on the top side. He's going to zoom to the outside of Mark Dodson for the 3rd position now.
Gustin takes over 4th from Donlinger, challenging Dodson now for 3rd.
Here comes Ryan Gustin around the top out of turn number 4. Dodson able to hang on. Gustin again back up the hill. Going to look to the outside of turn 2.
Brandon Davis in the 50 to the 3rd says, if it worked for him, I'm going to give it a try. He's now moved to the ultra high line.
It's still Timms and Townsend. Here comes the Reaper on the outside.
Ryan Gustin in the 19, trying to work to the outside of Dodson's baby blue 85 machine. Those 2 cars now side by side in turn 2.
Gustin getting the run off of turn number 2. They're even going into turn number 3. Dodson to the bottom, Gustin to the top as they come on a 4.
Everyone's attention focused on what is now a 3-car battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Donlinger on the bottom in the 3D.
Here comes Ryan Gustin again, almost over the cushion in turn number 2. Dodson able to get by, Donlinger able to get by. Here comes Gustin again.
Gustin in the 19 remounts that challenge as he tries to wind it back up again.
Still Randy Timms in the 5T. He is in control. Tyler Townsend all by himself in 2nd. It's Dodson, Donlinger, and Gustin.
Bob Tim shuts it down. The 49 heads to the infield. His feature is done. 33 laps now in the books.
Gustin still wheeling that 19R car around the top side of the racetrack, trying to regain his momentum after he just about knocked down the wall a couple of laps ago.
Randy Timms, your leader, will get the white flag this time across the start-finish line.
1 lap to go for the driver out of Wheatland, Oklahoma, as he is pulling away down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Ryan Gustin again with a good run off at corner number 2 to the outside of Donlinger. It's going to be Randy Timms, your winner. Tyler Townsend going to finish in second. Here comes Gustin around the top. It's going to be Dodson, Donlinger, and Gustin, your top 5 here this evening. So while the top 2 might have been a little bit of a runaway, that battle for third on back was definitely exciting. Again, unofficially, the 19R of Ryan Gustin coming from the 15th spot to the 5th position. The 3D of Tim Donlinger, 4th, the 85D. Mark Dodson, 3rd, the 12T of Tyler Townsend finishing in 2nd. And your race winner will get him down in that Bobcat of Rochester. Hanson Tire Service, Victory Lane, the Western Flyer Express, Kent Automotive, Bell Racing, Duralite Wheel Covers, Real Racing Wheels, sponsor number 5. And we'll send Dan Bailey down to get a couple of words with your race winner here tonight. Again, they will have the points totals posted here in about 15 or